Hello, I'm Matrix Ran, and I'd like to welcome you to this tutorial for the Infected Ground Elite SDF. IGE has a reputation as one of the hardest Elite SDF maps around, a reputation due mainly to its tricky hostage rescue mechanic for its optional objective, which places a great time pressure on any group. For Infected, you'll want to have full Mark 10 gear or better, with a pulse wave as your main weapon, and a sniper rifle or other long-range weapon. Wearing a full set of either Omega or Mako gear will give you an instant remodulation power, which is very useful for this SDF, particularly for tactical officers. Full stacks of large hyposprays, immune support injectors, minor and major regenerators are all a must-have. For kits, tactical officers should look for the Fireteam kit, science officers should look for the Analyst kit or the Borg Medic kit, and engineers should look for the Enemy Neutralization kit. The map starts out with this small corridor which has 2 packs of average Borg to ease you into the level. Then we come up on the first trigger line. It's important to remember where these lines are, as crossing one starts a hidden 10-second countdown until the hostages in the next room are assimilated. For Infected, the group is split into 2 teams, Rescue and Distraction, both assigned by the team leader before the SDF begins. The Rescue team is in charge of rescuing the hostages in the first 4 hostage rooms. Here's an overlay showing you how this room's workload is divided between the 2 teams. Rescue team usually has a science officer and a tactical officer. The science officer should use Tachyon Harmonic to strip the shields off of the hostage-taking Borg drones, leaving them shieldless against the tactical officer's fully buffed pulse wave attacks. Be sure not to accidentally run across the trigger line while you're chasing after flying Borg. After the first 2 rooms are clear, there will be another small corridor which will lead to an almost identical set of rooms for the next set of hostages. The Distraction team will usually have a mix of engineers and tactical officers. Engineers in particular can use their chronoton mines and try cobalt bombs to deal lethal amounts of AoE damage to the Borg. After hostage 3 is secure, the 4th hostage is a little trickier, this time in the far right corner rather than the usual left-hand side of the room. Another 2 packs of relatively harmless Borg, which engineers should save their orbital strikes for so they can be dealt with quickly. Note the trigger line here. As with all trigger lines on the map, you can safely sit behind one and fire away until you've cleared as many Borg as possible from the next room, without worrying about hostages being assimilated. While shooting from behind the trigger line, make sure not to mistake security escorts or NPC captain clones for real players running across the line. This is the first 2 hostage room. All of the rooms from here on out will have 2 hostages, and the Distraction team will always be in charge of saving those hostages on the right-hand side of the room, as well as dealing with any remaining Borg in the room. This particular room has an elite tactical drone in it. As a rule, always try to flank the Borg once you're inside these rooms, as it grants a huge bonus to damage, but be careful that you don't get flanked yourself. All Borg get the same bonuses you do, and heavy tactical drones can one-shot you. In this case, we've already pulled one of the 2 trash Borg packs from this corridor. Again, Orbital Strike here is your friend. This is Captain Ogan's room. Shortly after you engage the 4 drones inside here, the force field will lock you in. Once the drones are dead, the captain will come out of hiding and engage the group. He's not much more than a punching bag, and after a bit of sustained fire, he'll become invincible while he monologues. Wait it out, then blast him down to sides. These green consoles you see against the wall control the force field to exit the room. They must be activated at the same time by 3 separate officers. They're a preview of the consoles you'll find in the final boss room, so you should get used to them here. There's nothing special to the timing. As soon as you hear the beeping from someone else tapping on a console, tap yours as well. Right after you kill Ogren, you'll see 2 groups of 4 drones spawned in back here. Nothing to it, Just blast them before you play around with the force field controls. Another trigger line. Use it to kill the heavy tactical in the center of the room before you charge in. It'll save you a lot of headaches. Be sure not to use knockback attacks here, as you can easily knock the drones out of range and waste now precious time. This is the second of the double hostage rooms. Distraction team will secure this hostage, while rescue team picks up this one. Make sure to keep an eye on your health while in here, and have ready your defensive cooldowns like hyposprays and cloaking fields, as there can be a lot of drone fire going everywhere. If you're still focused on the optional objective, you're going to have to move quickly at this point. There are 3 board groups in this corridor, one of them not pictured here. All of them have heavy tactical drones. This is the last trigger line. From here you can snipe out the elite tactical drone inside the next room, or chance it and have one group member tank it if you're short on time. The last hostage room. The hostages are in the same places as the last time, along with a few groups of extra drones. Again, have your defensive abilities handy and work fast. Once the last hostage is beamed out, you can take a nice deep breath and collect yourself. No more ticking clocks. Just the boss room left. Two new teams are formed here, Jump Team and Clearing Team. Once you've got your new role and everyone is set, run into the room and make sure you make it past this point. There's a force field here that'll lock you inside a few seconds after the first person steps in. The first step is to clear the board drones off the left-hand platform, then the right-hand platform, and then the middle platform. Everyone helps with these drones, as until the central platform is clear, Jump Team can't get to work. The Clearing Team should start jumping to the left, clearing the back of the room from left to right, using pulse wave shotguns, melee, and any other knockback attacks they have to knock the Borg into the plasma below. It's quick, clean, and efficient. Meanwhile, the Jump Team has moved to the front right platform and has started to activate the consoles. The consoles will lower the force fields on the computer cores, allowing you to plant a virus. The virus will run for a limited amount of time, and all 4 need to be active for you to be able to take down the shield on the main power generator on the central platform. To be able to jump from platform to platform, the safest method is to take your time, and never use the sprint key. Always make sure that the path in front of you is clear, and that there are no players in your way that you might bump into, causing you to miss a jump. Once all 4 viruses are uploaded, the main core can be shot and destroyed, lowering the shield around Rebecca. Make sure you spread yourselves out around the room before the fight starts. Rebecca has a targeted chain attack that will jump to players and pets such as turrets or escorts if they're even remotely near her target. She also places this blue circle on a random player from time to time. If you see this on your officer, make sure to stop firing. As the fight drags on, make sure to keep an eye out for board drones that will respawn on the platforms you've cleared. You need to take them out if you want to continue on with the fight. This concludes this tutorial for Infected Ground Elite. Good luck out there.